Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of September 7th through the 13th. And during that time, we'll have a full moon that comes in on the 8th. But of course, that energy may be around the day before, the day after. But that full moon energy is, of course, heightened emotions. Sometimes some people can feel overwhelmed or anxious, maybe a little snappy and irritable. You might have changes in your sleeping pattern. But it's a good time to release any resentment or fear and to practice patience and calm, or to use that energy. Sometimes, if you're an artist, it's a good time. I can't sleep during a full moon. I'm awake, I'm doing things, I'm just very aware of life and things that are going on. So some people positive, some people not so much. Just use it in the way that it works for you. Waning gibbous comes right after that. Of course, that energy calms down. A good time for self-reflection and rebirth. A good time to make positive changes and to get rid of bad habits and negative thinking, and just give a little fresh start for you. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini, of course. So please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. Your overall message for this reading is that you balance spirituality and practicality. Never bad advice. Let's see what that means for you this week. Gemini, as I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. You'd have to be logged into YouTube or Google to do that, but it really helps my channel, and it's super, super easy for you to do. So I would really appreciate, I'll give you a moment to do that right now as I'm shuffling. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. It's been slow to grow, and that's fine with me. That's kind of, that's what I set out to do, just so that I wouldn't be overwhelmed as I'm learning how to be a YouTuber. And I do really appreciate those of you that are returning to hear your reading every week. I love it. So thank you so much for being here. Also, my fun, friendly reminder this week is that you take the time to meditate this week. So if it's not something that you normally do, it's just a good time, especially maybe even during the full moon. If you need to calm down a little bit, just go within, quiet yourself, quiet your mind, and just get in there and explore. So, but yeah, even if it's just a little bit of time, either daily or even just every other day, whenever you can work that in, but just a good thing to start to work into your practice. So. All right, without further ado, let's get into this reading. Gemini, September 7th through the 13th. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Let's see what you guys have going on for this week. All right, your overall present energy is the Ace of Swords. So it looks like you've had some sort of breakthrough, some sort of idea. An Ace of Swords is like an aha moment where something just comes through, something becomes very clear to you, or you get a new idea, something that you've never even thought of before. Like, why haven't I done this before? So a mental breakthrough, and that's great. Make sure that whatever idea it is, that you are balancing that with your spiritual life and with your, being practical, so when you're thinking about those new things that come through. Your current situation is this may involve some sort of collaboration here with the Three of Pentacles. Why didn't we collaborate on this before? It's a great idea. Let's come together. Let's work together. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting here. At the root of your situation is the Judgment card. So it looks like, at the root of this is you've had some sort of, new awareness about something. And of course, that's new awarenesses and judgments kind of bring new ideas to the surface, where you're just aware of something that you've never been aware of before. That's totally what a breakthrough is. It's something that, wow, why didn't I think of that? I think of the popping yourself on the head, and I should have had a V8 commercial. Definitely showing my age there, but that kind of thing where it's like, why didn't I think of this before? And I'm really getting this energy that it's like something that maybe has occurred to people around you, but to you, it just wasn't very clear. And now it's laid out clear, and you're like, I can't believe I didn't think of this already. So just behind you is the Knight of Cups. So this could be something that was brought on by some sort of emotional action by you, or or in your recent past, you've definitely had a time where you've been kind of just slow and steady on the emotional realm. This could be that you are just very, if I always look at this night and like, there's no way he's spilling anything out of that cup. It's in there. It's not like he's throwing these emotions all over the place, but he's moving forward steadily on that horse and nothing's getting spilled. This is just to me about calm, cool, collected, not overly emotional about anything in either way. So, on your mind this week is the King of Pentacles. So this could be some sort of, we've got a couple of pentacles showing up. This could be some sort of financial idea, something with an investment. But again, it looks like some sort of collaboration that that you're thinking about, that you're thinking, hey, why didn't we think of this before? Let's come together, let's collaborate. And you are feeling like, on your mind is to, if you're not knowledgeable, is to definitely seek knowledge to, excuse me, let me grab a drink here. Also speak up. Anytime I get, sorry, I have ice cubes in there. Anytime I get a frog in my throat during a reading, I feel like there's probably something you do need to speak up about. Sword energy is definitely air energy. So you may be wanting to have these discussions with whoever you're trying to collaborate with, but you're going to be seeking out knowledge on something that you have kind of an aha idea, like, oh, I thought of this, and let me go down the rabbit holes of researching so that I can feel like I'm completely knowledgeable on this. What is just ahead of you is some sort of ending that is going to come out of this. So, and I feel like, of course, with the 10, I always say with the 10 comes a 1, comes a new beginning. So, it's causing you to go, oh, well, this is a great idea. I'm going to stop doing this thing and we're going to start doing this thing. So, whatever it is, and it may be again in the financial realm. In your advice position is the Knight of Pentacles. So, yeah, it does appear to be action in the Pentacle realm. So, I feel like you are going to at least gather enough knowledge to begin taking action on this idea that you've had. Whatever it might be. Again, it might be an investment, it might be some sort of collaboration, it might be a collaborative investment. But it does involve some other people here, and it's just based on some new information that's come to light for you. Again, speak up, say your mind. I'm getting a little close throat on this. So, beyond your control this week is the 9 of Swords. So, a little sleepless nights, a little bit of anxiety. This could be, again, we're entering into this full moon time, and it could be that this is just on your mind. And it doesn't have to be negative when it comes to sleepless nights or thoughts or anxiety. It's just that you just can't sleep. A lot of times, and especially if this is beyond your control, a lot of times in a negative reading, yeah, this can be, anxiety can be detrimental. But in this case, I do feel like that it's just on your mind. And even if that means instead of sleeping, you're reading a book about it, or you're researching or doing something that you just can't let it go, something you've learned that you're like, oh, I just can't believe I didn't think of this before. So if that's the case, make sure if you are staying up late at night researching something that you make sure to get some rest. Do that meditation thing I was saying. Work some rest into it for yourself also. Secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Queen of Swords. So this is your secret desire to, this is the Queen of Swords, and it's Queen of Swords is very logical and very says exactly what's on her mind. So are you trying to avoid saying what's on your mind, or is it your secret desire to speak this out? And like I said, you're collaborating with other people here. There's other people involved, and this is your big question. Are you trying to avoid speaking your mind, or is it your secret desire to speak up and say the thing? That'll be your big question of the week. In your outcome position is the Knight of Swords. So I'm going to say you probably do speak your mind. Make sure, look at these two opposing each other. So you want to take an action, look at the horse on the nice. We were talking about this horse here with the cups. Let's do a comparison here. This guy's not spilling anything out of this cup. The horse is pretty calm. The water in the background's pretty calm. And then we've got this guy, which is just the opposite. The horse is like, what is happening? What are you doing? What are we, where are we going? This is quick action, and it could be verbal, that you're saying something quickly, expedient, you're thinking it, it's on your mind, you're going to say it. It's also, is it going to be very logical there with the Queen of Swords? I get the idea. Lots and lots of swords in this reading. If you look, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards of swords plus 5 with the ace. I mean, A lot of swords, a lot of words, a lot of ideas, a lot of things thinking about. So, I don't see it as negative that this Knight of Swords may be the end result. Is that you are going to say the thing, you're going to cut through. You've got this idea, you want to express it, and that's okay. I think you're going to be logical, emotionally balanced about it, and take action on it. What's hidden from you this week is thinking about the future. Interesting. So you're very, very in the moment on this thing. And again, if you're not really thinking about the future, go back to this card: balance, spirituality, and be practical. Think about, how does this affect your spiritual outlook, your spiritual way of doing things? Are you keeping ideas and thoughts in line with that? So that'll be another big question for you for the week. So, all right, let's get a final message here. I hope this makes sense to you. This is, I mean, to me, I'm feeling that you're an emotionally very balanced person, gets a very clear idea based on new information that comes about. I'm just reiterating here for myself too. This person is going to collaborate with other people, but also learn everything that they can, which is going to lead to an ending of a way of doing certain things and a new beginning and some action here. Sleepless nights with just learning things about this new information, being very logical, but also speaking their mind, also not thinking about the future. So it's very in the moment. And speak up. Here's my throat doing that again. So anytime that happens, I feel like you're going to have to speak up. I don't think that's ever a problem for a Gemini. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. I've done a little read through again. Become a clear channel. Okay, so yeah, I think be clear. I think you are going to take some time to learn about this thing, whatever it might be for you. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. I'm also just getting the feeling of you're very excited about something, that it's this is exciting. It's not a boring topic for you. All right. Self love and self-worth is the name of this card. Why settle for crumbs when you deserve a whole meal? So, take care of yourself. Don't settle for crumbs. Say the thing that's on your mind. Remember to balance your spirituality and practicality. But it looks like you're going to learn a lot this week. You're kind of in the moment. Whatever this happens is very energetic for this week. You're not really thinking about the future much, so you're really kind of just in the moment. I feel like learning about whatever this aha moment that you've had. So, Gemini, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I hope there was something that you can take away and use from this reading. Of course, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a message down below and let me know, what's going on with you. What was your big aha moment this week? Did you act on it? Did it keep you up at night? Did you have to go learn a lot about it this week? I'd be real curious to hear those kind of details. If you like my reading style, of course, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. But most importantly, Gemini, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this story continues. So thanks so much. Good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.